Ladies and gentlemen, Across the Spider-Verse has landed in Marvel Future Fight, and it is a big update with a lot to get into, so let's jump right in. Miles Morales getting an absolutely goated upgrade here, looking amazing, playing amazing. It may be hard to spot how much better he is than his anniversary special, but for the survivability alone and the function with the 3 seconds of invincibility on the 5th skill, I think it's a really big deal. He's still proc friendly, but I'm still rocking a judgment on him because he maintains full elemental damage, and I think he's going to become a beast once he hits 80. I've heard some really insane things, like he can clear stage 50 of Gene, so that's pretty spicy if you ask me. His uniform optionals, for those of you wondering, I'm going to go through all of them in the video today. Ebony Maw, Gamora, Requiem, Wave Classic, Carnage, and then Wolverine Enter the Phoenix. Not the greatest optionals, but not the worst either. Speaking of Wolverine, before we go any further, you'll notice that I have Wolverine as well as Sabretooth starred and favorited, as well as Spider-Gwen, who do not feature any uniform or upgrade in this update, but they may very well feature in the next 2 weeks. You heard that right. There is a sneak peek, well, not a sneak peek, there is data mined, which is basically a sneak peek into what could be coming next in the game, and data miners have uncovered new uniforms for Wolverine, for Sabretooth, and for Spider-Gwen. Spider-Gwen's is Across the Spider-Verse, so just like the movie, very exciting. Sabretooth's is Ultimate Sabretooth, and then Wolverine's is Death of Wolverine, which is an ongoing series, or I think it's called Death of X, I can't remember. Or Deaths of Wolverine, but it's an ongoing comic run for Wolverine, and a bunch of his different looks are featured there. So yeah, pretty massive if you ask me. Absolutely massive update here, and if the mid-month is going to be Wolvie, Spider-Gwen, and Sabretooth, it's going to be absolutely massive then as well. So keep it, keep your eyes on that, but also keep in mind that you're going to want to save. You're going to want to save your books potentially, right? If you haven't tier 3'd Wolverine, you may want to take a look at saving your books in case he gets a tier 4 and you want to tier 3 him. I wouldn't upgrade any of these characters ahead of the next update, but I would absolutely keep it in mind. Same thing goes for Spider-Gwen. If you're tight on the speed books for tier 4 and you think she might get a tier 4, then maybe hold off on tier 4ing Miles or Ant-Man or Black Widow or Shadow Shell or Spider-Man if you were considering tier 4ing them, but you would prefer to tier 4 Spider-Gwen. Again, no confirmation on who's going to be getting the tier 4, but both Spider-Gwen and Wolverine are eligible for it. The only one that's ineligible is Sabretooth because he's only tier 2 right now, so he couldn't get a tier 3 and a tier 4 in the same shot. So pretty crazy, but we haven't even scratched the surface. Let's go on to Miguel. Absolutely fantastic upgrade for him. Massive gains, not only in the length and width department, but also just overall insane damage, super cool animations, just absolutely gorgeous, straight out of the movie. Really, there's nothing more you can say, straight out of the movie, and that's the highest compliment you can really pay. Absolutely gorgeous, very proc friendly, just like Miles, very strong at tier 3, pretty nice. Probably will get overshadowed by Miles, let's be honest, because he can go to level 80, he can go to tier 4, but that doesn't mean Miguel is not very strong in his own right. We got White Fox Life Series 1, we got Doctor Strange from the second movie, we have Swordmaster, Ant-Man Team Suit, and then Beast. These are probably worse optionals because the only good one or even recent one is Doctor Strange and Beast. But yeah, it does somehow get worse. And then finally, we have Spider-Woman. She gets a brand new uniform. I didn't actually realize in the patch notes how much better her leadership is, so I did want to point that out. Her old leadership triggers both the debuff and the attack buff when you get debuffed. So you get a 40% attack buff, but that's only for 12 seconds every 25 seconds. So on average, you're looking at about a 20% attack buff that's featured throughout the fight, right? Because it's active half the time, so you divide it by 2. However, her new leadership is just infinitely better. You can see here, it's a 40% buff that's active all the time. So it's literally twice as good because it will also trigger the debuff cleanse, and the debuff cleanse has a 5-second shorter cooldown. So you only have 8 seconds of downtime in between the debuff being gone and coming back. So absolutely huge leadership, massively good for Spider-Verse characters. if there were ever a time to test a Spider-Verse PvP team, it would be now with her and Spider-Man and a third option. However, it gets even better because remember, her passive on her uniform now gives Spider-Sense allies the chain hit, the ignore dodge, and then the increased damage to boss types. So she's basically a better version of Sif for all of the Spider-Verse characters. Miguel, Miles, Spider-Man, of course, Chasm even, herself, and then, of course, Spider-Gwen. So absolutely huge. As far as her uniform options go, however, Robbie Reyes is pretty good. Corvus is all right. Gilgamesh is a little expensive. Daredevil's very old. And then Iron Man Endgame is a massive kick in the balls. This is 2 uniforms old now for Iron Man. It skips over the this one, the team. Well, the team switch is the same time, but it skips over the free one and this one, Superior Iron Man, and Back to Basics. So pretty brutal on the optionals there for Jessica Drew. And then we have Spot, who has really cool animations, again, straight out of the movie. Some people don't seem to be very happy with his performance, damage-wise, or sort of, how effective he is in PvE and PvP. We'll have to wait and see. But right now, the question on everyone's mind is, how do you get Spot? All right, how do I have Spot? Well, basically, there are 3 ways to get him. There's actually technically 4 ways to get him, but one of those ways is always just randomly opening him from a hero chest that you get through rewards. And I'm talking rewards like these ones right here, where you can pop a hero chest that can feature a premium character, or a premium hero chest if you get one of those from logging in or whatever. So anyways, besides the hero chest RNG, you can get him guaranteed if you purchase the 20 biometric sub. So there he is next to Cassie and M'Baku. Thankfully not locked at tier 2. However, if you don't want to buy this, you don't want to spend 30 days collecting whatever, you can also, for basically the same price, you can get the Spot Immortal chest, and that's going to give you an 8% chance to get 100 or 200 bios of his. So it's a little bit less than 10% chance. You can get 2 chests or you can get 6 chests. The odds, I believe, are exactly the same regardless. Yeah, it's still an 8% chance. You can see 5% to get 100 bios and 3% chance to get 200 bios. So that is the only other way to get him right now. If you can wait, then you can also get him from the event that's coming up in a couple of weeks, right? You can see the token already here for Spider-Verse. This is the Spider-Verse event token that we thought would be listed from the patch notes that mention you getting him. So if you can save up if you can, wait until these tokens launch and then save them up, you'll be able to get him. Don't get that confused with the token that's on right now with the pre-update tokens. These pre-update tokens do not give you the chance for spot bios, but they do give you all of the regular stuff like energy, hidden tickets, rank up tickets up to 4-star, or in my favorite one, the Titan record, so that you can get back some of your books after you finish tier 3ing Spot or tier 3ing Miles or whoever else you were planning to tier 3, because books are, as we know, very, very hard to farm at times. So that's basically it for the characters, but there's still a lot more to talk about because there's new sales, some of which are actually really good, like this one here. I don't want to harp too much on it, but it's just a solid deal, especially if you're a new player. All 5 of those cards are very good. If those cards seem familiar to you, if you take a look there, Groot, Star-Lord, Loki, Nebula, and Zombies, those are basically the exact cards I have equipped on my free-to-play set. Now, that's not a coincidence, and it's not that they're featuring my card set, it's that these are the best and easiest cards to get if you're a brand new player. So if you're a brand new player, or if you're a returning player who doesn't have any cards equipped at all, this is a really good deal for whatever, $5 US, $7 Canadian, and you get 500 crystals too. It's a very competitive deal, and you can honestly slap all 5 of these cards on even without rolling them, because you'll have instant stats, right? You get ignore defense from this one, ignore defense from this one, ignore defense from this one. That'll set you up. That's 30% ignore defense right there. Then you get cooldown here and you get cooldown there. So having 30+% ignore defense and 20+% cooldown right off the bat is going to set you up massively to just cruise through the beginning of the game. So this is really like a beginner's grab for comic cards. Now, you can get these cards for free. It's not that difficult. You just farm up a few feathers and then you just craft cards. So some people would say it's not worth it. You're more or less spending $7 for just 5, booster mythic cards. and then of course the 550 crystals. But hey, not everyone has the feathers to burn. Not everyone's going to get lucky. You can absolutely do it this way, and I probably recommend doing it this way if you have the materials. But like I said, if you're a brand new player, you're not going to have these materials. It's really easy to just plug in those 5 cards and start, just start rolling, start vibing in the game with a brand new account. It makes it so much easier, so much smoother, and it's not very expensive, right? $5, $7, that's like a coffee at Starbucks these days. It's not too bad at all. There's a couple of other sales in the shop that I don't really want to talk about because they suck, like this. Yeah, it's just really bad, overpriced. And then this one's not bad because you get a premium card, but it's not even top 5 PvE premium cards. So yeah, I would stay away unless you desperately want it for your completion, for the card completion, for the collection. Otherwise, yeah, you're better off sticking to rolling the dice on some spot luck chests. Next up, I want to briefly talk about the Jocasta menu that you're going to see in the corner of a bunch of pages that you go to in the game. You're going to see that pink dot, and you're going to be able to get some nice rewards from it by just clicking through and clicking on the rewards. You don't even have to read the pages or what they do, but you can get some really nice stuff like Mythic Uru. You can get 30 crystals if you go over to the recommended goals for tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 characters. And you can get some CCF and some other things. And again, this is all just guides for helping players understand the game. And you can, just go in and get some free rewards that way. So this is kind of a nice little top up for any of you guys that were just a little bit short of a resource here or a resource there to get your next upgrade. And don't forget to go to the next page because that'll also have extra rewards. There's a lot hidden in here and it's nice. And again, this isn't even for us. This is for new players. So it's really, really nice. Last but not least, and I'm honestly missing a lot of other stuff like quality of life changes that we'll get to in other videos, but last but not least, I gotta briefly talk about Kang. Not gonna show you guys too much of the fight here because I want to surprise you guys in a separate video that'll be coming up very shortly, but I gotta say the music alone makes this worth so much. Yeah. Absolutely insane. This is probably my favorite music in the game ever, and this is probably my favorite fight in the game ever. Not gonna spoil it for you guys just yet. If you saw the live stream, you witnessed some of it, but yeah, the devs did an absolutely fantastic job with Kang World Boss Legend, and I'll be releasing content on that very, very shortly for you guys to check out. In the meantime, let me know what you think of this update. Has it met your expectations, exceeded them, or something else? Thanks so much for watching. Smash the like button. It helps out the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.